In India, there's the idea of having 4 ashramas or dharnas. And I mean, the first one is easy. It's the brahmacharya, you know, when you're the student. And then you're the married, right? And then you're sort of retired, but advising. And the 4th one is basically you're meditating.
Yeah.
And we're now at the ages where we're moving from the 3rd one to the 4th one over the next little while. I mean, we're still active, but probably, I mean, if you're me anyways, not as active as I was a couple of years ago. And the meditation, it really is a big responsibility of people of our age to meditate, in not talking about the 10 minutes, you know, I'm not going to extremes either, but actually, as you said, in the last 4 or 5 years, and I've had the same experience, in the last 4 or 5 years, I've been meditating a lot more deeply. And I think it's tremendously important, because the reason that we had so many problems in the early going is, quite frankly, I mean, it could be right down to one thing: we didn't meditate properly. And especially the people on the right side, who were the people who were leaders, they tended to get more right-sided because they weren't really meditating. The idea was, well, you were working for Sahaja Yoga, so that'll work you out, you see. And it's just patently, obviously not true, right? But we can't learn lessons for other people. But at our stage in life now, our main input is meditation. But the point is that we have this capacity now to witness. We know all the mistakes that have been made and we made, and sometimes, you know, things that have happened to us. And I think that's our real contribution. I mean, there are definitely things. I mean, I think it's great, for instance, that Richard does the Divine Cool Breeze, and I mean, and these are, you know, the different things that people are doing, that you guys are doing, your statues that I can see in the background. They're all the happy dancing Ganeshas, and I don't know what everybody's doing, but I know that they're doing it, you know. And I think that's extremely important, whatever you're doing. But the meditation is even more key, because I think there's still a lot of people out there, newer than us and younger than us, that don't meditate enough. I think that one of the worst things that happened is that a lot of, in the last years, it seems to me, and I mean, I don't really pay enough attention, but it seems to me that a lot of Sahaja Yogis have died prematurely. And I think what happens is, they know who Sri Mataji is, they don't know who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sri Mataji having left us, they become insecure.
Yeah. Insecure, yeah.
And we have no reason to be insecure, because, I mean, a friend of mine died of cancer here. He was a Sahaja Yogi, and he was good in some ways, but he had a very bad mother, and he never really detached from her. And but his mother said to me once, "Oh, well, now he can, you know, he can go and be with Sri Mataji." And I said to him, a Sahaja Yogi is not going to be closer to Sri Mataji dead than alive. You're as close now. It's there. You're there. Anytime you want it, you know. But we're the people who know that. And we're the people who have to, that's the most important thing, is we should be meditating on it. And if you're a good communicator, you should be talking. I mean, Felicity, I don't see you very much on Facebook, but these two guys are on Facebook a lot and sending out photos and that. And it's very, very positive all the time from both of them. And I think that it's really, it's really a good thing that people are out there saying positive things. You know, you were saying to me the other day, right? But I think among ourselves, we have to also seriously look at the problems and meditate on the problems. But that's a different thing. Srimataji says in the book, you know, there's the Muladhara has 4 petals, and each petal has 4 aspects, three distinct aspects, and a 4th aspect that's the combination of the first 3. So the 4th petal of the 4th aspect of the 4th petal, as Srimataji says, that she compares the Sahajogis, the Sahaja collective, to an orchestra, in that everyone has their own part, and they know the part, and they're studying the part, right? They've learned their instrument, they learn that part, they know the other people's parts because they have to listen to them, because you're all the time cueing each other, and your attention is on the conductor, and the conductor is Srimataji. And that seems to me the best possible image for our collective. The question of leadership, except for Srimataji's leadership, doesn't come into question, right? But perhaps you have to be an established Sahaja to get into the orchestra, but it can be done very easily. You just have to desire it, right? And I think it's absolutely key. I mean, I think it's really important that we support each other. I mean, now without judgment, we don't have to look at Mark anymore and say, you know, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? We can look at him and say, well, of course he knows what he's talking about, because he's been doing this for 40 years. And if it's a little bit different from the way I'd say it, it still deserves complete respect. And we all deserve each other's respect. You know, we all deserve to know that we're mastered our instruments, and we mastered. I actually studied this a couple of days by watching. You know, there's music videos there's classical music videos on TV, on YouTube and that, right? They're everywhere. And I start watching the musicians, right? And they'd have like small bits, right? Sort of 1 minute like this, but they were totally focused. In 2 hours, they were going to play, you know, maybe for 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, they were going to do maybe 5-6 times, but they were totally focused all the time, you know. And I think it's such a good image. Then that's where we have to be, totally focused, even if our little odd bits only come up now and then, you know. So I'm happy to have been part of the conversation.